Lights down, and away we go.
Oh my god, what a move! Big crash!
For the first time in Season 3 of MFRL, we welcome you to some racing action, some proper cars on track for 3 days of testing compacted into one in this short highlights reel of the 3 individual days coming from Spain, Silverstone and Bahrain. 3 different days, 3 hours for the drivers to get to grips with their new Season 3 cars, realistic performance as well, and this is the first in what is 6 in 7. That's 6 videos in 7 days with plenty of other content along the side as well. And as we draw nearer to the first race back at Bahrain after an incredible race in Season 2, we focus now on testing, the 3 days of testing. And so then that's enough for me yapping. Let's tuck in some proper action with day 1 of 3 coming from the Circuit de Catalunya here in Spain, in Barcelona. Could Jack be back, or will it be someone new? The first pre-season test of the season was quickly interrupted by a big crash for James, going straight into the barrier on the exit of turn 9. Luckily he was okay, but the car and barrier were not. For Kick-Sauber, however, it was a tale of two sides, as teammate Jack went quickest in the session with a 1:12.988. However, his test session was far from smooth sailing, as demonstrated by a big slide he had in the opening minutes of the session, and he was not happy about it.
Oh mate, every single corner there was understeer or oversteer on this car. It's so unbalanced, it's so difficult to control.
And Jack's scares didn't end there, with a huge moment coming out of turn 2, hitting the gravel and going right across the road, nearly causing a big accident. However, the Jack-to-back champion says he's happy with the car and he's excited for a season of close battling with the pack. Coming in behind him in second place, however, was the Stevo back at Aston Martin for another season. And despite a mistake in the session, the Stevo said he was happy with how the session went for the team, with the Scotsman dunking his wheels in the gravel once or twice during the session. While it was understeer for Aston, it was oversteer for V-Carb, as Omar suffered a big moment entering the first corner, with the V-Carb snapping away in dramatic fashion. Omar would eventually set a lap good enough for P5, 4/10 off Jack, with his teammate Robbo in P3. Robbo says he won't feel as competitive this season, but you never know with the Robbo. He might not attack Jack, but he'll always be attacking the rest of the pack. Splitting the V-Carbs and making a Williams sandwich of V-Carb bread was Sotos, with a lap good enough for P4, as he absolutely pushed the limits at the last corner. So after 60 minutes in the Spanish sun, what was the top 10? Well, Jack topped it with a 1:12.988, with the Stevo only 1/10 away. Robbo and Sotos came 3rd and 4th, with Omar and Jaco making an Italiano 5-6. A&P 7th, with Wiki 8th, McGrory and John. With the first day wrapped up, we now head to Silverstone, where the weather is much less reliable, but luckily the drivers were gifted with a nice, dry, sunny session as the sun set on the Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire countryside. Go grab yourself a Tina Bicky, we'll be right back. With Jack topping the Spanish test session by just over 1/10 of a second to the Stevo, could he repeat the same fate at Britain, or could one of our many British drivers or teams make it to the top? 60 minutes in the countryside, let's see what happened in the second test of 3 in Season 3. James's Spanish struggles continued at Silverstone with a scary crash heading into the pit lane. Luckily, all our camera crew and the driver himself was okay. The Stevo was getting all snappy out the last corner before getting P4, improving his consistency. Meanwhile, Wiki was good enough for P5 after a very freaky moment heading into turn 3. The Alpine locking up and nearly losing control. A fantastic save from Wiki. The Alpine driver hoping to have a good chance at the title. So, where was our Jack-to-back reigning champion? Well, Jack had a very difficult session unfortunately, and heading through Maddox and Beckett's and onto the exit of Chapel, had a huge moment, nearly losing control of his Kick-Sauber. He would eventually go on to P3, but he was very frightened by the big moment.
Wow, I think I might need a new pair of pants after that one.
So surprisingly, it would end up being Jaco taking the top step of the test, with a lap time of 1:27.557, driving for Williams for the first ever time. Now Season 3 has seen a whole swarm of rookies coming in, and one has already impressed taking P2. It was Jake in the Mercedes, less than a tenth off the fastest time of the session. So Jaco took an impressive P1 in the session ahead of Jake and Jack, the two J's second and third. Stevo, Wiki and Sotos were next with Felix, A and B, Jimmy and Akil, making it 3 Brits on the bottom of the top 10. Henry P11, James with his struggles and the Hutchins in P13. Only one more hour of testing to go. What on earth could happen? And so we fly across to the Middle East for our final hour of testing of Season 3. Who could top it with 2 different people topping the first 2 sessions? Really unpredictable stuff, and this is why Season 3 is potentially bound to be the best yet in MFRL. Join us after the break to see who could top the final session of Season 3. Pop the kettle on, we'll be just a couple minutes. Back on MFRL. Majestic Formula 1 Racing League. Is back. MFRL Season 3 is coming to you with highlights and coverage on the MFRL socials and MFRL TV. Oh boy, you do not want to miss it.
You know, they say life is a marathon, but you gotta make sure you're sliding through it. I don't just make hits, I make sure everything is frictionless. Why be rough when you can be radiant? People ask me, Puff, how do you keep the vibration so high? It's simple. I stay slick, I stay supple, I stay in the flow. Because when you got this much oil in the tank, the party never stops moving.
We love you, Diddy.
Get your shine on. Take it from the man who knows it's better slippery.
Jack and Jaco have currently topped the 2 sessions so far in testing, and with one more to go, it is wide open for any driver to top pre-season test 3. With no real clear indication of who is going to be dominating the field, this is very, very exciting. We head to Bahrain and to the Middle East for our final test of 3 in MFRL Season 3. Let's see who topped the final 60 minutes. The final test session of 3 for MFRL Season 3 saw more names entering the top 5, with one of them being AMP in the Red Bull having a big moment and getting frustrated with track limits. Jack would make his 3rd consecutive appearance in the top 5, but it was only P4 for the reigning champion. He said he was slightly disappointed after this scary moment, luckily avoiding any damage to his kick salver. A big shake-up in the lineup saw Stevo for the first time leave Aston Martin and head to Alpine, but instantly he proved good to be P3 in his brand new machinery, with Stevo once again being consistent and a good contender for the Season 3 title. Stevo managed to split the 2 Williams, one of them being Omar, who finished P3 after this big moment through the S's, not to be getting away with any damage once more. But it was his teammate, his new teammate in fact, with Aiden topping the session with an impressive time of a 128.018, 3/10 clear from the rest of the field. Aiden was very happy with himself. So at the end of the final day of testing, we have more new names in the top 5, with Aiden, Lewis, Omar, Jack and AMP making up that top 5. Jake once again in 6th with Akil, Jaco, Robbo, and for the first time Pug makes it into the top 10. Jimmy, Henry and Tom all struggled. For the teams, that was a crucial 3 hours of testing, but for spectators, that was as much use as a chocolate teapot. We've been left with more questions than answers as to who will dominate. Plenty of action coming up this April on MFRL, and we all start with the Bahrain Grand Prix qualifying race on the 4th and 5th of April, Easter weekend, for some great action, with Brazil and Austria also coming up later in the month. Well, that will round off a fantastic 3 hours of testing across 3 different days and 3 different countries. 2 different continents have formed these 3 hours, and I cannot wait to see what happens. Good night.